Right, and welcome along to the Tactical Insight Show with my man Graham. How you doing, Graham?
All right, mate.
Listen, we've got a lot to talk about on today's show because yet again at the weekend it was another poor performance by Arsenal. I know Wolves are a good team. A couple of weeks ago they went to Manchester City and beat them 2-0, but it almost seemed like our manager had that in his head, and I thought of just personally, and I asked you this question on Saturday, the formation seemed wrong, the selection seemed wrong. Again, we got teams having more shots than us. I mean, it was just horrific as far as I was concerned. And you heard yourself after the game, right? Fans are getting very upset now with Emery. I mean, it's very difficult at the moment to find lots of fans supporting him, and we go into a really tough game against Leicester. So, wow, lots to talk about. Where should we start?
Well, 2 points dropped again. That's the first thing. 2 points dropped again from a winning lead. 2 wins in the last 9 Premier League games. 5 wins in his last 18 Premier League games. Normally when you look at a game, you can analyse it and see where you lost it tactically. But I just think he's losing the games at the moment, or not winning the games the way he's starting. Wrong team selection, wrong formation, people not understanding their roles in the formation, and ultimately the wrong substitutions. And I want to touch on it, Robbie. You asked me on Saturday, and did I understand what he was playing? He went with a 4-4-2 diamond.
Now, first of all, even before you get to that, the first thing when I got to the game is, I remember it was me and Pippa, and we were looking at the team, and I was like, oh, Ozil's playing, great, because I think we all said that we want to see him back in the team, we've been lacking creativity. But then I looked at it, I was like, where's Nicola Pepe? The last game, he scored, he had the 2 assists for the, from the corners.
Yeah.
Brilliant delivery all throughout the game, so that's a weapon. The previous game, the 2 wonderful free kicks, and he's been playing well. He's been getting better and better, hasn't he? And then all of a sudden, he's dropped from the team. Mad. I
said on Saturday, I thought he dropped in to accommodate Ozil. Now, when you're at home, we've been crying out for that front 4. It is a little bit expensive. You could argue it's a little bit open off the ball, but we're at home to Wolves. So that front 4, with Ozil in behind, Pepe on the right, Aubameyang on the left, Lacazette, central striker, focal point, coming in to hold the play up, bringing players into play, Ozil playing in behind. That, to me, although expansive, you could argue, is the right formation.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. And basically, it gives Wolves questions to answer. We put in pressure on them. So we are going to have a lot of a ball when we're at home, Robbie. So he didn't play that formation. He went with a diamond. Now
that's what I call him now, Legs Diamond. Now because everything's a diamond.
Listen, if you're going to play a diamond, at least get players in the right shape and formation that understand the structure of a diamond. Diamond, you have to be well drilled to play a diamond. Players have to understand and know their roles. They have to be structured. They have to communicate with each other. And I think this diamond didn't work because he had the players in the wrong positions. Now, for me, this is how we set up in the diamond. There's our back 4, obviously. Chambers right back, Socrates, Luiz, Tierney. And the other thing, a diamond's very narrow. So we're asking Tierney to do a lot of work going that way, as well as having to look after Traore. And they tested Tierney out in that first 15 minutes when it was almost like we were playing at Molineux, because they had the whole of the game in that first 20 minutes, right?
Just like what Villa did.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Aston Villa, when we come back and beat them 3-2. Remember, we were very lucky to get 3 points in that game, but it's the same in that game.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes, it was all Aston Villa at the Emirates.
Does he ask players just to sit? That's the question.
It looks like it.
It looks like it, doesn't it? He just asks players to hold their positions. But what was wrong with this diamond? Right, let's get on to that first of all. Right, so, Torreira. Now, I know that in that first half, these were the 3 players, Ozil, Torreira and Ceballos, right? Guendouzi was at the
base.
Was at the base of the diamond, right? Now that is crying out for Torreira to play there. It's where he played for Sampdoria, for God's sake.
For years and years and years, we've been saying at Arsenal, we want a DM, this DM, that DM, please get us a DM. We used to have a go at Wenger.
Yeah.
What? Now we've got a DM. we're not playing him as a DM.
No.
We're trying to play him as like...
You want a presser. But they were moving about interchangeable, these three players. But for me, the structure was wrong. So Guendouzi played, as you say, at the base, Torreira at the tip, and then you had on the right side of the diamond, Ozil and Ceballos. Ceballos on the left side of the diamond, Ozil on the right. Don't know if you noticed first half, Ozil was having to come so deep to get the ball.
Yeah,
he
lots of times.
He wasn't at the end of the pitch where we need him to influence the play a lot of the time. Although his stats, I've put his stats there, I thought he was, for me, our best player.
Yeah, he played well.
95 passes, right, with a 90% accuracy, 6 recoveries, 3 key passes, 1 successful dribble, and he was fouled a couple of times. Had a good game in the structure that he was asked to play. But this didn't suit him. He's not... The trouble is, when you play a diamond, the outside part of the diamond, you need players who are athletes, runners, who basically can go outside to block the fullbacks and then recover their space. That is a big demand. And I think the players who we've got to be suited to that role were not available. One of them wasn't available. I think Reece Nelson can play that role. He's somebody who could get up and down either side. He's an athlete. He can travel with the ball. He can move outside. And I think Willock can play that role. He's somebody also who can sort of... He's an athlete who basically can travel with the ball, and he can... you have to go in to out a lot of time because you have to get out to block the fullbacks going forward and recover your space in the structure. He's someone who could play that role. Pepe's not a defensively minded player, but even he, I think, might have been better than Ozil in that role, to free Ozil up to come in at number 10. So, and the thing is, what we played into Wolves' hands, they played a 3-4-3, Robbie. 3-4-3, right? So you've got Castro and Doherty as the wing-backs. Neves and Moutinho are both excellent central midfielders. Traore, a lot of pace on one side. Jota, who what he was doing really well was he was coming inside all the time, and we were allowing it to happen because our 2 players on the outside of the diamond were always being dragged out wide, right, and not recovering their shape. Ian Wright made a comment on Saturday night, the space in the middle of the Arsenal midfield. When these 2 players get dragged out and don't recover their positions, the space opens up between Torreira and Guendouzi, and that's the problem with this. When you play a team who play a 3-4-3 with wing backs, the diamond structure for me plays into their hands. That's what I felt watching it on Saturday. That's why they had all the ball in the first 20 minutes. That's why Castro was feeding Jota. Jota was moving inside into pockets of space all the time. That's why Doherty was getting up unchallenged on the right hand side. These players, Ceballos on the left hand side of the diamond, Ozil on the right hand side of the diamond, do not suit the diamond. So we had the wrong players in the wrong positions in the diamond. You need runners in the outside of a diamond. You need a DM to sit who understands the role, and you need a creator at the tip of a diamond. Now so that's all wrong. That's all wrong for me. That's why it didn't work. But for all that, then we get the first goal, Robbie. We get the first goal. And the thing was about the first goal, brilliant play first of all from Lacazette. When he takes the Luiz pass, he spins, gets it into Aubameyang. I like that finish. Do you?
First time.
Stroked it.
Yeah, that's the finish of a top striker.
Now, I compared the stats on Saturday night. Jimenez against Aubameyang. Aubameyang at home against Wolves, against Jimenez away. They had 1 goal each. Jimenez had 13 more touches in the box than Aubameyang and 5 more shots at goal than Aubameyang. What does that tell you about
service? So he's getting service.
So where's our service? Where's Ozil there to provide the service? So he wasn't. So we got the goal, but if anything, then if you think Arsenal were going to kick on from that, Robbie, it didn't happen, did it? Didn't happen.
No.
Wolves started pressing again towards the end of the first half and looking the better side. So what does he do? Now, for me, he should have gone with a 4-2-3-1. I said it on Saturday. When you're in a bad run of form, get back to the basics. Get the players playing in the positions they're comfortable with, understand and can play. Get a pivot. Get Torreira as a holding midfielder next to somebody in a pivot to protect the battlefield.
Guendouzi, to me, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
You know, you've got 2 holding players in front of that back 4, right? And then you say to Ozil, go forward and create for the front 3.
Absolutely.
It's so... especially, I can understand all these diamonds and sapphires and, you know, gold. Do that away from home.
Yeah.
I understand that away from... We're at home, for Pete's sake. How are we at home? And I can see if you got the shots on it because
Yeah, I have, yeah.
25 shots to our 10.
Now,
I know what that was just a damning stat that you said there about you know how many chances Jimenez you know the amount of times he got the ball in comparison to.
There's the quote, Robbie, from our manager. Do you want to read it out?
Tactically, it worked how we wanted it.
That's what he said. What do you think?
So
what he actually said was, he said we...
Was that the right translation? Or
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Tactically, he said it worked how he wanted. What he said was we limited them in transition. We created one or two chances, just couldn't get the second goal. It worked well, just a bad result. But it didn't work well. Look, 10 shots to 25. We had 7 chances, they had 16. They had more shots on target than us, 8 to 4. They had more touches in our box than we did. Although we outpassed them, we were at home, for God's sake. So
and the thing that worries me, Graham, is that everybody who comes now, every team who comes now, fancies it. And as I said, start of the game against Burnley, they had more chances than us. Burnley, yeah? Villa, start of the game against that, more chances than us. Start of the game against Tottenham, we're 2-0 down. This ain't working.
No.
And this is why he's under so much pressure now. Because for him to say tactically it worked how we wanted it.
Yeah, so the point I'm just making, finish off on the diamond. Diamond doesn't work because Torreira should have been at the base, Ozil should have been at the tip, and we didn't have, on the top of the diamond, and the players on the outside of the diamond didn't suit the structure. And it was a lot of times they need to keep the shape. A lot of times they were lateral during the game, so and they got dragged out of position, leaving space in the midfield for Wolves to exploit. Didn't work. Had the chance at half time to shape it up. Though we were winning, and I know you think if you're winning, then why do you want to change everything? You said that to me before. When you're winning, why change it? I'll tell you why you need to change it, because it flattered us. 1-0 flattered us at half time. We should have. The first swap should have been Ceballos should have been removed. Pepe should have come on the right. Ozil should have come central. We flipped to a 4-2-3-1. So what does he do in the game? We get to 59 minutes, right? First change is to take off Lacazette, the focal point. They were more playing as split strikers, I thought, again, like they did the previous week. Takes off Lacazette, brings on Martinelli, right? I get it, it's a straight swap. Martinelli, but what did he do?
Was it needed? That wasn't needed at that time.
You said, what about the substitution Saturday? How did they affect the team, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I must admit, I didn't see it. When you're watching games, sometimes you don't always see everything. When I watched it back, it was blatantly obvious. We flipped from a 4-4-2 to a 4-3-3. And what he did was, Martinelli replaced Lacazette, Aubameyang came central, and Ozil came over to the left. So it went to a 4-3-3. So Ozil was then gone from where he should have been in the 10 role. We was playing him on the right side of a diamond. Now we flipped the 4-3-3. He's gone to the left side of a 3, right? Now, so you might argue not too bad, not too damaging, but what it in effect said was we're going to hold our 1-0. We're going to hold our 1-0. We didn't have a shot on target, Robbie, after the 32nd minute of that game at home against Wolves. That's damning. Right, so then what happens, right? Wolves are pressing for an equaliser. Wolves worked really hard in that game, and I was really impressed with the manager, the way he set up. Jimenez, I think, was superb.
He's a good player, very good player.
Jota's
a very good player.
He gets in those pockets of space, and in the end he had that fantastic run where I thought he was going to win in the game. Fantastic run.
I have to say, the defender, watching that back, the defenders did well not to foul him.
Yeah, I thought they were going to foul him.
I was thinking, oh my God.
But what changed the dynamic of this game at 4-3-3 and enabled Wolves to get a point? It was the substitution of Torreira. Because what that did then was, Torreira came off, Saka came on. I thought Saka first of all went into the number 10 role, but he didn't. We stayed 4-3-3. Ozil then came back into the 3. So Ozil had gone from wide right in a diamond to on the left of a front 3, back into a midfield 3 with Saka on the left. So what that did was you had Ozil and Ceballos and Guendouzi as a 3. That to me,
you're holding players.
That doesn't work, does it? Doesn't work. And what ultimately happened was we got pushed back, Wolves were pushing, and then we switch off. Ceballos switches off on that throw, a quick throw in. Moutinho hooks it across, and then Jimenez gets in there with more desire than Chambers to win the header.
Chambers should have done better there. He's kind of wrong side as well, wasn't he?
So now we've lost our lead. 76 minutes. What does he do, Robbie? What does he do? 1-1 at home, 2 wins in 8. 5 wins in the last 17, needs 3 points desperately.
£70 million.
£72 million on the bench. What does he do?
brings on Kolasinac.
No, but he didn't straight away. He didn't, mate. He left it for another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
he
true.
should have made that change straight away. The best coaches chasing games make that move straight away. He has to come off. He has to make a substitution. I think he had to take off Tierney, possibly play Saka back and put Pepe on and gone for it up front for those last 10-15 minutes. But he didn't. He waited. He might as well have left Tierney on. What's the point taking him off Kolasinac 3 minutes left?
Somebody said that he apparently had cramp. I don't know if that was true.
So he wasn't going to make the change then? Yeah. So tactically, he says it worked how we wanted, just the result was bad. It didn't work, Robbie.
Didn't. And we're at home and we're not creating enough.
No.
And because the formation is down to, and I don't want to be having a go at him, but honestly, I became very frustrated before the game even started the other day when I saw the team. I'm like, what is the point in us going out there and getting a player like Nicolas Pepe, an exciting lineup? That's where you want to show that at home. Of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe. We were all drooling over that. Bringing Ozil back in, we're thinking, yes. Yeah. And then Torreira's our new number 10 then?
Well, they're going
what is going on?
He doesn't...
Or is Torreira...
He's
just there to press.
He's just
right?
there to press.
So, honestly,
it doesn't work, does it?
It is an absolute mess.
And he's now. I mean,
how many games did you say?
We've won 5 of our last 18 in the Premier League. We've taken
5 of the last 18
in the Premier League. We've taken 18 points out of our last 54 in the Premier League. And we've won 2 of our last 9 in the Premier League. We won our first 2, and then we've only won 2 of our last 9 since then.
And then loads of draws.
Loads of draws.
And basically, if you see how he's set up, that's about drawing games. That's about, basically, at the moment, it's no surprise, these results, because basically, what these formations are hard to beat teams. These are not teams that you're not setting up a team on. No, it's the facts, isn't it? If you're breaking it down, our team on Saturday was set up to be hard to beat, and then hopefully the quality of Aubameyang and Lacazette will get us a goal and win it, right? He's not on the front foot, and that is why we are drawing so many games.
It's the attitude of a manager of a small club. And he came from a small club, didn't he? Or smaller club.
Well, he was at PSG before.
I'm talking about in Spain.
And funny enough, and I keep saying to this, the other day I was chatting to the guys from Get French News, and I remember he told me when he came in, he said that, he's a very pragmatic manager, and he was telling me stories about how he played Blaise Matuidi on the left-hand side to tighten it up, he said that's one of the reasons why they ended up getting rid of him, because the fans were very frustrated with him, because obviously they got all these superstar players, and they're like, you're not unleashing them, you're thinking too much about the opposition. He's doing the same thing here, and he's running out of time. He's running out. I don't know, as far as the fans are concerned, I've seen a change. Last year, I can't remember the last time I've heard Unai Emery's Red or White Army. And a lot of fans around me at the Emirates, in the North Bank and that, they've lost patience. And then there's all the other factors, the Xhaka thing, the Ozil thing, it's not good for him right now. And we go into a really, really tough game against Leicester. And the way they're playing, free-flowing, literally how we'd expect us to be playing.
Yeah, let's look at that Leicester game. Do you think that Leicester game then is now pivotal moving forward?
I don't think anybody at Arsenal are going to admit this. It seems to me that could be a do or die game for Unai Emery. It's against Leicester. If we lose that, I think we go 9 points below them. Yeah, there'll be 9 points ahead of us, right? His remit at the start of the season is top 4. They'd be in 3rd place, 9 points ahead. Chelsea, I'm not sure who they got at the weekend, but they're going brilliantly.
Doesn't matter.
They could be 9 points ahead of us as well. Yeah. The powers that be might look on it and say, with all this going on, the Xhaka, what happens with Xhaka? Does he come back in next week?
I think it is him back in next week, yeah.
Right? I think they might look in it. It's going into an international break after that. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When traditionally, when you get that in periods where there's not a lot of football on, everyone's talking about various things and various talking points. So there'll be lots of chatter about what's going on, and I think they might just make the move then. There's been lots of talk about Mourinho, hasn't there, over the past couple of weeks?
What do you think of Mourinho, be honest?
Do you know what? I don't really want Mourinho because Mourinho, again, is another pragmatic manager. But however, the one thing I would say about Mourinho is the Mourinho I've seen over the years, again, he makes his teams hard to be beat. But if, say, he was in that situation where it's 1-1, I've seen him like send on 3-4 strikers,
Robbie,
to try and win the game. But it's not. I don't.
Listen.
Allegri is who I wanted in the beginning.
Listen,
I would like an Allegri, but
let's kill this Mourinho stuff, right?
It could be Mourinho.
He's a horrible little man.
It could be.
He's
him.
a horrible little man, Robbie.
It could be him, Graham.
He's got a massive ego.
He has.
He's got a massive ego. The baggage that comes with Mourinho is unbelievable.
Is he better than Emery, though?
Yes. Yeah, but
so that's what I'm saying.
Listen.
Right, when they're looking at it, if they look to get rid of somebody, if they're looking to get rid of him, and this is just us speculating right now, we don't know, but let's say we lost to Leicester and they were looking to get rid of him. Mourinho sat there, he's free, he's available, he's better than Emery, he's an elite manager.
He disrespected our greatest ever manager.
He did.
How can you?
These are new guys there, though. These not the same setup as before.
Same fans are there.
I know, but it's not Gazidis and people like that. These are new guys that actually get on very well with Mourinho and the people that get on well with Mourinho's agent and stuff like that.
I don't care about it. Listen,
you could see him here. I'm telling you.
He's not going to have the money to work with that he had at Chelsea. He hasn't got Abramovich giving him that. He spent most money in world football, Mourinho, to win what he's won. Do you know that? He has spent most money. He had money at Chelsea, money at Real Madrid, money at Milan.
But there might be an acceptance of him. There might be an acceptance that he's not going to have the money on his part, and but he'll have the makings of a good team.
But you can kiss goodbye to the young players then, like Willock and Nelson.
Listen, Graham, it's not what I want. But I'm saying it would not surprise me if they brought Mourinho in. It wouldn't surprise me because these guys, they don't want to be in the Europa League.
No,
they've told me.
Nor do these guys, do they?
Yeah, and these guys won't stay in if they're going to be in the Europa League, right? They want to be in.
Do you seriously think
if you've got to look on it, right, they've given him funds. They bought Nicolas Pepe. He's got Ceballos there. They give him Tierney. We said we wanted, right? You know. Louise, they bought. I know that's not the but they've got players there, right? That's better than Man United's team that Mourinho had that got to second. So I'm saying it's not what I like. Listen, I've been one of the biggest people slating Mourinho over the years, but these guys want top four, and if we're being honest, the way we're seeing, and let's look at it this way. It's not just now. It's remember how we finished last season, the running. We had the easiest running of all those teams vying for the top four, and we blew it. Lost to Palace, drew at home to Brighton. Again, negative tactics. Lost to Palace at home, got smashed away at home to Everton, got smashed away to home to Leicester. Literally, nearly lost literally every game in that running, right? Then went to the final of the Europa League, got absolutely humiliated in the second half, and then we started the new season and we followed it on.
So you sell your soul for Mourinho?
Huh? Would I sell my soul for Mourinho? Maybe I wouldn't, but they will. They'll sell their soul for the top four. They want to get in the top. Listen, they want to get the top four, Graham.
Yeah.
And they may look at it and say, if we do it now, we've still got enough time, because it's still quite early in the season.
Yeah.
We've still got enough time to make up 9 points if we get a manager that's going to be a proper manager. And that's why it would not surprise me if you see Mourinho,
do you think,
if he loses that game. I think if he wins a game against Leicester, that buys him time.
Do you think we'll win the game at Leicester?
If I'm being 100% honest right now, no. What signs are there? Look at our away form. Look how we played against Sheffield United. If we play like that, we know he's going to be pragmatic and it's probably diamonds and sapphires again, right? And Leicester, they're free-flowing, they're super-duper confident, and they're going to look at it. And
I think the biggest...
They beat us 3-0 last year, and they took us apart.
But they had a sending-off when Madison got Maitland-Niles sent off.
They took us apart last year, even before the sending-off.
But they weren't winning. Were they winning when
it was? No, I think it was 0-0, but they were still the better team. I think.
Yeah, but they played there's 10 men. Madison got
No, before the sending off, they were the better
matter.
team.
How many games do you see when we're the better team? We end up
all right,
losing.
fair enough, but
listen, I mean, look at that Leicester team. Then let's go through it.
9-0 they won the other day.
Yeah, but another bloke sent off. Listen,
we drew with Palace. They went away to Palace, beat them 2-0 at the weekend.
I'm going to quickly go through the team with you. Who would you have? Schmeichel or Leno? As your goalkeeper.
So you was telling. Listen. So listen. Again now, and a lot of people keep making these comparisons, right? Is this on current form, or is this, let's just say, at the start of the season, we didn't know how Leicester were going to get
current
on.
Form.
Right? On current form, you'd have to go...
How many of our players are getting the Leicester team then?
On current form?
Yeah. 2?
Aubameyang. And even then, Vardy scored more. Vardy at the weekend scored more.
You could have Vardy and Aubameyang in the same team.
Yeah, well, Aubameyang. Yeah. That's the only one at the moment, and maybe Guendouzi, who would get into the team. Nobody else really, Lacazette's had an injury, Ozil's not been playing. Tierney's only just come in. Leno, I think, would have a chance, you know what I mean? But then their keeper's played all right.
Their 2 centre-halves were linked with Arsenal, you know that?
Yeah.
Would you take their centre-halves over our 2 at that?
That's the thing though, right? If those 2 centre-halves were playing under our current...
They wouldn't look so good.
They wouldn't look so good, would they? Sionku's done brilliant,
yeah.
Right? But remember, he was the backup to Maguire. He wouldn't even been playing if they'd have kept Maguire, right? And what's his name?
Evans.
Johnny Evans, who nobody wanted at Arsenal. No, we don't want Johnny Evans, right? But look, it's the manager who's got them playing like that. It's the system. They play the right players in the right... Indeed, he plays as the defensive midfielder. He's not playing as number 10, is he? No. Indeed, he's not up there trying to...
He sits in front of the back 4, doesn't he?
He sits in front of... That's what his job. That's what we know he does. He'd have Indeed probably playing next to Aubameyang. You know? Maybe so we've got the players, Graham. Look, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, Torreira, Ozil, Ceballos, Guendouzi, Tierney. Even David Luiz is a very experienced player. Burn Leno. All right, I know Chambers is filling in for Bellerin, and I know Socrates can be indifferent, but is that a bad team? We used to play better attacking football with Giroud up front, and now we've got 3 of the best. Who do you blame? Who do you and this is why the game against Leicester is huge. If he loses it, I think it's very difficult for...
Do you think they'll pull the plug?
Whether they'll pull he's going to come under extreme pressure. So even if they didn't pull the plug, going into December where we've got City, we've got Chelsea, it could be... and that's why I personally look on it and think that they just do it from now. Because
I think the fixtures are getting harder, aren't they, December?
Yeah, we've had as well. That's the other thing. It's been quite kind to us so far. Palace at home.
We played the
Burnley at home, Villa at home. Yeah. Tottenham at home, who we normally win them games, right?
Yeah.
Right. And even the away games, Sheffield United away.
Yeah.
Right. Newcastle away. Yeah. It's not the Liverpool. The hard one in that was a Liverpool away, but we're still gonna have to go. Tottenham away. Man City away. Chelsea away.
We got Man City at home, Chelsea at home, Man United.
We've done Man United away as well.
Yeah, we've got Man United at home and Chelsea at home over Christmas. We've got Man City at home in December. So we've got the 3 big teams.
Yeah.
So I think by January, we'll know whether we're definitely getting top 4 or not.
We could be miles out of it by January, which these guys want to get top 4.
Yeah, and
his contract's up at the end of the season anyway.
Yeah.
I think he has to beat Leicester next week. And basically, the only way I can see us beating Leicester is if this guy or this guy turns up.
But you can't see it changing because he's making the same mistakes week in, week out. He doesn't think he's making mistakes. If you can't see that you're not that you're making mistakes, you're never going to change anything, and the cycle's just going to continue. So I can't see this changing, and I just think that it can only go one way. This, Robbie, that you get the feeling, don't you, the way it's going, and I think that it's just whether
Mourinho.
I'll never go Mourinho.
Well, you didn't ask me. What about you? Would you take Mourinho?
No. Look, Xhaka made it all about him when he came off the pitch the other week. That's why the crowd got uptight. It's all about Mourinho if he comes as manager as well. Make no mistake about that. So I wouldn't take Mourinho because out of disrespect for Arsene Wenger, the fact the guy is a horrible little man. I have to say it again. I don't like him. He's egotistical. And it's not as if he's at prime Mourinho anymore. What did he do at Man United? Did he turn them into competitors for? I think he got them second, didn't I? have to retract on that. So, look, I wouldn't take him. He's egotistical, and also he doesn't bring through younger players. There's no real long-term vision with Mourinho. I think young players under him. Did he play much under Mourinho?
Yeah.
Did he? Well, I just think younger players. Well, his history is not of developing younger players, and we know that there's no long-term vision with Mourinho. It's about the now. So he gets the players in now, and it's all right if you've got clubs who can give you the money to bring the players in to fix it now. So, I look around. I think that Benitez would be a good short-term stopgap. He's got a contract. He's probably not going to break it. Allegri, I would love Allegri, but I don't think he's going to come. I just don't know. They've got. It looks like they've got the wrong man, doesn't it? I mean, last year we lauded him up because when he came in...
We went on that run.
We went on that run. But you are right, you nailed it. Since that Palace game at home, when we gave away the league position and we had that terrible run, it's just carried on into this year. And he just can't seem to get out of the cycle. And I just think it's going to continue. I just can't see him turning it around, Robbie.
Okay, well, listen, it's been a long one today, but a lot to discuss. Let us know what you think. Where is he getting it wrong? Do you agree with what Graham was saying? Leave it in the comments below. Can we beat Leicester next week? I'd love to hear that from you guys as well. And also, I've got a quiz for you. Do you think, if he does get removed, will Graham be on the terraces singing Jose Mourinho? Let us know.